Man, bruh, I remember my first time going to Bagram, Afghanistan, dog. But you choose the goddamn deal, man. It's one on the Pappy. And we are back with another video. So throughout my time in the military, I've been to Afghanistan a few times, Bagram to be exact. Uh, I low key got citizenship in Iraq as many times as I've been there. Probably gonna buy some land out there soon. But nah, the first time I went to Bagram, Afghanistan, I ain't gonna lie. Boy, I was scared of hell. Boy, I'm talking about finna stomach fall to my butt as soon as we landed in Afghanistan. Because if you see all the military movies, it just seems like it's always going down out there. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes as a Raven, you gotta go out there. You know? And this particular time, dog, we had to stay there overnight. That was our crew rest spot. I don't know who did this itinerary for this mission at the time, but the crew rest, meaning the spot we stayed the night at, was Bagram, Afghanistan. Maybe because of the mission type, I don't remember the exact details on the mission. I just know I was scared of hell. Yeah, I was scared, and this wasn't what I was used to. Cause usually when we crew resting or we get done flying after a day, we usually in somewhere cool like Spain, Germany, stuff like that. Not in the desert. Yeah, no, not in the desert. So when we land a Bagram, bro, I'm like, man, I don't know what to expect because I think at this time, Bagram was like always getting bombed, right? And Bagram is like kind of like in the city, where the base is like in the city, the surrounding areas where all the stuff will go down at. So any little any little shake that you felt, bro, the bombs, not the bombs, the alarms to Bagram are going off. And so I remember being in the tent, not the tent, like the transient, you know what I'm saying, dorm or whatever. It's like bunk beds or whatever, all over the place. And that's where we were staying at the crew and the rest of the Ravens. And dog, the alarms went off like. I'm like, oh, bro. It was. Let me back up some more. So usually when we crew rest, we leave our gear on the plane. They said, no, take your gear and your guns to them dorms because you just never know. I said, I was thinking to myself, this is why people are scared to join the military because they got to go to Bagram. So the alarm was going off, you know what I mean? And some people like outside was like scrambling around this and that, but they were just getting the cover. You ain't want to just be outside while the alarm going off because you don't know if it's a real thing or it's just a false alarm. And so the alarm go off, bruh, and everybody wake up and put their gear on and get ready. I'm like, oh, bro, it's about to go down, bro. I ain't, nah. I ain't sign up for this. I ain't sign up for this. Nah. So once the alarms go off and shit, at some point we had to go eat. And so Bagram, not only is it like active duty military there, it's also contractors there. And so we in the chow hall, and I overheard some people talking about the alarm or whatever. And they was like, oh, that's a regular thing here. I'm like, a regular thing? The alarms are going off every day like this? He said, just about. Just about. And sometimes it ain't nothing be happening. But they also said, like, bro, If you know the base is under attack, you would know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you might felt a little rumbling, you know what I'm saying? But that was outside in the city. And I believe that because I've been in a few places in Iraq and the stuff was like miles away, but you could still feel like the rumbling, the vibration of them doing what they was doing. But yeah, bro, I was scared, fool. I was scared, and I probably been to Bagram at least a handful of times, but only stayed there once. I have never. I don't ever have to go back to Bagram ever again. You know what I'm saying? The biggest misconception about Bagram for me was because again, you know how in the movies it's always look like it's hot and sweaty there. Bro, do y'all know it get cold out there? I'm talking about like freezing cold. We went there, I want to say one of them fall months. And me think I'm like, bro, it don't get cold in Afghanistan. It don't get cold out here. Man, I must have stepped outside with no hoodie on. And bro, I was like, where we at? Like I saw my breath. I said, and I seen my breath. I said, oh no, Bagram is freezing out here. I ain't know it got down like that out here. But yeah. No, I was very confused about the weather, and I was very afraid when we had to stay overnight at Bagram. But I really couldn't sleep because uh, that was a horrible crew risk. I don't remember, like I said, I don't remember the mission, but I could not wait to leave Bagram, get back into the and go where we was gonna go, and ultimately go home. Yeah, that was a time where I was like, man, forget this military stuff. Absolutely not. I'm pretty sure Bagram cool now. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Bagram cool now. But back then, it wasn't crazy, but it just you just never know what's happening, around the base. And so yeah, that was pretty frightening for your boy. You know what I mean? And I'm just glad that I was able, or I am able to, tell the story. Not a long story, but it just my experience. Veterans, what's the scariest place you ever been to? You know what I'm saying? And Bagram is not even the scariest place I've been to. I can't remember the airfield we was at in Iraq, but I know we was the first team there, the first Raven team there. And when you the first Raven team there, you need to pay attention to the intel briefs. You get an intel brief every mission. And sometimes when you go to a specific spot, numerous of times, you kind of like being an intel brief, like just dozing off. Not dozing off, but uh, that's my dryer. You kind of being an intel, not paying attention because you already know what to expect, bro. You know what I'm saying? But this instance, they said, "Hey, bro, get in and get out." You know what I'm saying? Do a tactical landing and takeoff. I said, "Oh, bro, tactical." Tactical landings and takeoffs is one of the scariest feelings of all time. Especially if you're a person that don't like heights. You know what I'm saying? And that's just a different feeling to feel experience in an airplane as well. So a tactical landing is you're descending, right? But you have to get to the ground as fast as possible. You know what I'm saying? So you're descending, right? And then all of a sudden the plane go and just do a nosedive. A nosedive. And then what's crazy, like the load master would get on the headset with the intercom and be like, hey, hold your stuff, put your seatbelt on, and do a tactical landing. So he just be like, fuck. And you never know when it's gonna happen either. It just like that. And then you boom. And on a plane, you like, oh, oh, and then you on the ground. You on the ground. Not like it go and then you just, you know what I'm saying, slam onto the ground. The way that plane, the wheels on that plane slam into the runway, that's a sound I would never forget. Would never forget. You would think the plane is broken the way we hit that ground. And then tactical landing, bro. I mean tactical takeoffs. You on the runway, you know how the plane get ready to go and it go off fast, we take off. Same thing. It just go and it goes straight up. Straight up. Imagine a big old C5, C-17 doing a tactical takeoff. It's a very, I like to imagine it's a sight to see. But that's another feeling that's a scary feeling, boy. That's a scary feeling because those planes don't have windows. So you don't really know what position the plane is in. You know what I mean? And you just gotta trust the pilots, really. Yeah. My trust has been tested, battle tested at that. Because sometimes them pilots be playing. You know what I'm saying? But that's another subject for another day. But yeah, just to get back to Bagram, yeah, bro, I was scared. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't. I would never cap to y'all and say I wasn't scared of Bagram. Would I ever have to go again? Absolutely not. You know, one of back then people they probably still do it, but after the military, people go to they do overseas contracting, and usually like when it's like your first year doing overseas contracting, you going to Bagram off real. You going to Bagram off real, and part of my plan leaving the military was to do overseas contracting. But once I seen, yeah, your Bagram is the first spot because you gotta earn your keep. I said, oh no, never mind. I ain't want six figures that bad. Mm-mm. And then the good thing, I mean, the beautiful thing about overseas contractor, bro, that money is tax free, dog. You can. That's why I've been trying to tell people, like, I mean, yeah, you don't have to like be military to do overseas contractor, but it's the military is your foot in the door. And you security forces too. If you have to be security forces, man, the sky's the limit, dog. I don't know how to get into overseas contracting now, but the sky's the limit. People be getting paid. But I'm getting off subject. But yeah, I ain't wanna go back to Bagram, fool. So I took my black ass back to Texas. You know what I'm saying? And I'm making YouTube videos and stuff. So yeah, dog. But yeah, I want to hear some of y'all's favorite, not favorite, scariest places you've been in the military. Alright. Hope y'all enjoyed this quick little story time. Like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and I'm out, dog.